Hello again, folks. In the bleakest days of World War II, Winston Churchill made one of his most famous observations. He said, "Never let a good crisis go to waste." There have been many variations of that quote since then, but it has been used to great effect. It was used just last week. The world's media had been waiting for Donald Trump to be arrested after he claimed on Truth Social that he was about to be. This was over that hush money that was paid to former porn star Stormy Daniels in 2016. The problem being where that money came from and potentially what New York state law was broken. By preempting the arrest, Trump took the wind out of the DA's sails. Now, whether it happens or not, we don't know yet, but what Trump masterfully did was take the focus away from his potential 2024 challenger. The popular Florida Governor Ron DeSantis, who swept to victory last year with a huge 20% margin over his closest competitor. DeSantis has written and released a book called The Courage to be Free. It was released a few weeks ago and has already become a #1 non-fiction bestseller. He's slimmed down, ready for the big stage, ahead of surely what will be eventual confirmation that he will challenge Trump for the Republican ticket for a run at the White House. And right now, we're getting a taste of the primary showdown. Trump has drawn first blood. His media strategy, clever. By making the arrest claim and then dominating the media landscape ever since, he starved Ron DeSantis of early oxygen. With the eyes of the world on Trump, he turned a crisis into an opportunity by attacking his Republican opponent and firing negativity at his much younger rival.
But I did rallies for Ron that were massive rallies, and they were very successful. So we got him the nomination. We then got him the election.
DeSantis has acknowledged the opportunity and benefit he received from Trump. He's been careful and diplomatic not to antagonise Trump's base too much, which is what he will need if he's to have a proper crack at the White House. DeSantis defended Trump over the DA's push to arrest him and for a time criticised the mainstream media's treatment of his older rival. Part of this window into what makes DeSantis tick came courtesy of my Sky News colleague Piers Morgan, who sat down with him last week for a revealing and very interesting interview.
I'm just not following it. I mean, I get taunted and I get attacked every day. I mean, you see some of that. To me, it's just kind of background noise. It's not important for me to be fighting with people on social media. It's not accomplishing anything for the people I represent. So we really just focus on knocking out victories day after day. And if I got involved in all the undertow, I would not be able to be an effective governor. So I don't think it's something that makes sense for me.
If DeSantis confirms, he's going to have to play dirty. In the gutter is where Trump wants his opponent, a bare-knuckled brawl, if you will. Does DeSantis want to do that? Yes, appears to be the answer.
So I haven't made a final decision on it. I've told people I've got a lot that I've got to do over the next few months in Florida. We're going to put a lot of points on the board, and then we'll see how the dust settles after that. But I can tell you, we just have a lot of people that realize the country's not going in the right direction and believe that what we've been able to do in Florida, if we could apply that nationally, would kind of get America back on track and back on our foundations. And so I take that very seriously. It's humbling that people have come to me and asked me to do it or urged me to do it. So stay tuned.
Trump is worried about DeSantis. Otherwise, he wouldn't be criticising him in public. But while Trump is looking back on the past to form his pitch, DeSantis has been smart so far by pointing his policies toward the future. But what works at a state level doesn't always translate nationally. He believes it could.
One of the things that was interesting about my election is the voters in Florida overwhelmingly thought the country was on the wrong track, but they thought Florida was on the right track. Right. So they saw the difference in terms of how things are governed. I mean, just think about it. We run big budget surpluses. The federal government's $31 trillion in debt. We're very tough on crime. The policies in Washington are to be more weak on crime. You know, we believe in good stewards of the environment, but I don't want to control everyone's behavior with some of the stuff that's going on. And we have really fought against the woke ideology.
Republican polling suggests Trump would beat DeSantis, so no doubt that is a consideration. I wouldn't be too fussed about the length of time it's taken to confirm because there is still so far to go until 2024, but we're getting close because generally things heat up about 18 months out. DeSantis has youth on his side. Not since Obama has there been a young, credible challenger for president. But despite his enormous election victory last year, can that translate to the national stage? Can he defeat Trump and then appeal to Trump's base? Now that's a fine line to walk. Thanks for watching. To support this channel, please like, share and subscribe below. See you next week.